Good afternoon, everybody. Today we'll be discussing the effective use of experiential techniques. My name is Brenda, and I'm joined today with Sahib, Joshua, Abdulal, and Paul. On today's agenda, we'll be discussing the 6 experiential methods, why it's important to effectively use experiential techniques, introduce the organization we've researched, our organization's training needs, what we've learned from our interview, as well as the recommendations we will propose to our organization. Experiential techniques are one of the 4 main traditional training methods, along with lectures and discussions, on-the-job training, and audio-visual aids. There are 6 types of experiential training techniques, such as in-basket, case studies, equipment simulations, role-playing, behavior modeling, and business games. Oftentimes, when implementing experiential training methods for a job role, the more identical the training environment and tasks are to the actual job environment, the better. Experiential training can improve a trainee's knowledge, skills, and abilities in various degrees. The in-basket training method is meant to acquaint trainees about certain tasks, activities, or scenarios they may need to solve when on the job. Trainees can pick one of multiple problems that are kept in the basket and then solve them. For example, a trainee could pick out something from the basket that could be complaints from different customers for a customer service role, and then practice solving them. In-basket training is a cost-effective method that helps build decision-making and problem-solving skills. It also helps to develop procedural and strategic knowledge, as well as interpersonal skills. You can effectively evaluate how well trainees can perform job-related tasks through this method.
Case studies. In this method of training, a trainee is presented with a case that describes either a real or fictional complex scenario to analyze. The trainee should identify various problems within the scenario and look for concrete solutions to these problems. This can improve problem-solving and reasoning skills, and can also broaden trainees' thinking skills. Case studies develop trainees' strategic knowledge and their attitudes. Equipment simulation involves the use of various forms of equipment to simulate a real-world scenario. This can include real-life equipment, digital representations of the equipment, a virtual environment, and more. A simulation is the imitation of a real job function or process through the use of equipment. They are effective ways of transferring key skills to trainees at varying costs. Determining which type of simulation and the amount to invest in that training method depends on the job role and the severity of making mistakes. The role-playing training method is an active learning technique in which employees act out situations under the guidance of the trainer. Employees are meant to take on particular roles and rehearse the behavior they will use in the given scenario before actually facing the scenario when they begin their job. Role-playing games can increase interpersonal skills and trainees' attitudes, particularly regarding role reversal. Behavior modeling. This training method involves showing trainees the correct way of doing something by having them observe the standard model behavior in a problem situation. It assists trainees in retaining their training by allowing them opportunities to practice said behavior and receive proper feedback. When implemented properly, it can also help trainees learn how to transfer their training on the actual job. Behavior modeling specifically improves a trainee's technical and interpersonal skills.
Business games are live and interactive simulations where individuals can experience managing a business or aspect of a business at no real threat. They represent the way a business or unit of a business functions and are based on a set of theories and rules. This method helps trainees to see the impact their actions and decisions have so that they can build business strategies and develop their decision-making skills. It is an entertaining way to provide feedback and develop a trainee's strategic knowledge. In some cases, a business game can also be designed to improve interpersonal skills as well. Training with experiential methods can be a costly investment at times, but if it is done correctly and effectively, can provide an immense return in multiple ways. The right use of experiential techniques can help align the goals and performance of employees with that of the organization. They can ensure that employees have the right knowledge and skills when performing, which can affect their productivity. Thus, the right experiential training methods fosters the financial growth and performance of an organization. Employees who are trained using the wrong experiential methods often lead to lower performances and can impact the profits and efficiency of an organization. When employees are trained effectively using experiential methods, the procedures and work processes taught in training becomes a standard for workers to follow. The more effective the training, the more consistent these processes become amongst employees. An organized training system will help training become more consistent as well as systematic. Organized training methods and consistent work standards not only help the employees, but it can also improve customer satisfaction. If training were inconsistent, then each employee would have a different standard for each task, which can confuse or anger customers. The proper use of experiential training can also keep the chances that employees make mistakes and misuse equipment, materials, or tools low. The proper experiential training can also improve an employee's confidence in their abilities and knowledge. The person that we interviewed works for the Toronto-Dominion Bank's Commercial Banking Division, more popularly known as TD Canada Trust. The TD Bank is one of North America's top 10 largest banks with a main vision of providing their customers with the greatest bank experience possible. They are headquartered in Toronto, Ontario, and serve over 26 million customers worldwide through their three main business lines: Canadian retail, U.S. retail, and wholesale banking. TD Canada Trust provides services through its retail branch network, mobile applications, telephone, internet banking, as well as automated banking machines. There are various positions at TD Canada that require a combination of interpersonal skills, technical skills, and procedural knowledge, as the need to be able to complete customer-focused objectives merges with the implementation of their various services and offerings. They need to implement experiential training methods that specifically target these needed KSAs. A great example might be an investment account manager, who needs to be able to communicate their client's risk tolerance while also understanding the tools offered by TD to assess new opportunities for their portfolios.
So what is the organization's current experiential training methods? We learned through our interview that the company begins training for new hires by having them complete a mixture of online simulations of the bank's systems. Once they complete that, they move on to completing topically sequenced models that introduce one topic at a time, such as the types of transactions they would need to complete on the job, company policies, workplace safety, the company's mission, and more. After completing the online equipment simulations, they train by having the new hire shadow a more experienced employee perform on-the-job tasks for a period of time. Then, when they feel comfortable, the new hire switches positions with their coworker and performs the on-the-job tasks while being shadowed by said employee. This involves a few steps of behavior modeling, such as observing the experienced employee's behavior and being able to practice it, receiving feedback on how you do and what you can improve on, and then being able to transfer the training by doing the actual job.
TD's combination of training through online equipment simulations and modules can help improve the technical skills of employees. The shadowing portion of training involves steps of behavior modeling, which can improve employees' interpersonal skills and their ability to practice and transfer their training. An area of concern is TD Canada fails to adequately update the materials based on new regulations or services offered. We also learned that the systems they use to train the staff, as well as the information in the modules, are outdated when compared to the systems they use on the actual job. These discrepancies can confuse new staff and can impact their confidence and cause them to make mistakes when they begin working on the front line. The communication between management and the employees regarding a change in company standards and policies is poor. Their policies are constantly changing, and employees have to find out by trial and error that things have changed, rather than being retrained or updated by management about the new changes. Another weakness is that they also overload new hires with all the information at once, making it difficult to retain the knowledge. There is no set standard when it comes to how an employee is trained, Rather, it is dependent on which employee trains them. The employees have varying standards and preferred ways of completing tasks, which can be confusing to new hires. It can also impact customer satisfaction because they are told different things depending on which employee they encounter. Another issue is that this company does not have designated trainers to train the new hires for this position. They are taught by employees that have not been developed to properly train and provide good feedback. This can affect how the new hires perform overall, affecting an organization's profits and efficiency. Some general recommendations we believe can improve TD Canada's current training process is to retrain employees on changes in processes, communicate to employees when policies or standards change, split the modules and simulations up throughout the training process, as well as allow for more practice opportunities for employees before they learn another topic. Some specific improvements we have regarding our company's current experiential training methods are to improve the level of identical elements between the training simulations and modules to the actual on-the-job systems. TD Canada can better implement the behavior modeling training method in conjunction with their other methods so that they can better develop their trainees' interpersonal and technical skills. They can do this by setting a set standard behavior employees should have for each task, as well as developing employees into trainers so that they can properly train new hires and provide more clear and consistent feedback throughout the behavior modeling process. Throughout our research of this organization, we have noticed various issues stemming from their current training process. In this video, we will propose general recommendations as well as specific experiential training methods TD Canada can use to improve their training process. There are a few general recommendations we've proposed for TD to improve their current training process. One issue that we discovered is that the manager to employee communication is lacking regarding company policies and standards. Their policies and standards are constantly changing, and employees have to find out by trial and error that things have changed. We recommend that they retrain employees on changes in processes as well as update them on all policy changes. The way this bank's training process is organized is by introducing all the training simulations and modules at the beginning of training, and then allowing trainees to practice. This can overload new hires as they receive all the information at one time, making it difficult to retain. We recommend that they change the sequencing of their modules and split them up throughout the training process. After a trainee is introduced to a topic or simulation and completes it, they should be given opportunities to practice what they learned before moving on to another topic. There are multiple issues that have been caused because there are no actual trainers training the new hires. They are being taught by employees who are not trained on how to properly and effectively teach the new hires. Each employee has different abilities to train and provide feedback, so we recommend that they invest in developing crew trainers to provide better training and feedback amongst the new staff. Although this company implements online equipment simulations and aspects of behavior modeling, there are still some improvements that can be made to the experiential aspects of their training process. TD Canada's training simulations and modules are outdated when compared to the on-the-job systems. These discrepancies can confuse new hires and impact their confidence, as well as the likelihood of them making mistakes when first working. We recommend that they update their training systems and improve the amount of identical elements between the training and actual simulations. Properly implementing behavior modeling methods will improve trainees' technical and interpersonal skills, which are two important KSAs needed for this job role. In order to do this, TD Canada must ensure they set a standard behavior for each task, rather than allowing each employee to have different standards and their own preferred way of completing jobs. By setting one standard behavior for each process, it will be easier for new hires to observe and understand how to properly complete jobs. This will reduce confusion amongst new staff as well as for customers who may have been told different things depending on the employee that they encountered. Developing employees into trainers and setting a standard behavior for employees to model can also improve the feedback given to new hires. By receiving more consistent and clear feedback, trainees can then improve their skills and perform better on the job. Effectively using experiential techniques and other training methods can impact the organization's profits and reduces the chances of employees making costly mistakes or damaging equipment. These recommendations are meant to improve employee KSAs, confidence, productivity, and efficiency. They also help to uniform TD's work processes, improve overall consistency, and customer satisfaction. In conclusion, there are a variety of different experiential training techniques. Training effectively using the right experiential method is important for any organization. Each training process has to be personalized to meet the needs for each job role, and it's important to update a training process on a consistent basis as a company progresses and changes over time. We hope you enjoyed our presentation, and thanks for watching.